Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Athena Cravens. I have been an early childhood teacher for 8 years. Each of you have received a current copy of the state regulations, and hopefully you've had time to review them. The objective of today's lecture will be to review most of the deficiencies found in early childhood centers. Assess the group size based on the age of the children and space required. Comply with health and safety regulations. Explain the difference between Type A and Type B violations. Identify the penalties associated with these violations. Has anyone ever experienced any deficiencies in their center? Well, we will be reviewing most of the common deficiencies. We will first start with the State Fire Code. The State Fire Code, you must have an exit plan be posted in your classroom. Every month, you must rehearse a fire drill. The fire marshal inspections will be done yearly. There'll be 2 exit locations that are posted in your classroom. The children must recognize the firemen. Firemen are very, very scary. It's important as a teacher that you explain and demonstrate firemen and the duties of the firemen. So when the children see the firemen, they are not alarmed and they do not think it's a monster, and they will go to them if they need be. You must keep a contact of the list of children with you at all times, and exit areas must be cleared. Okay. Class size and staff ratios. Most of you teachers know the class sizes and staff ratios, but we will go over them just to refresh any memory. If you are a teacher and you teach children of the age of 2, the child ratio is 10 children per 1 teacher, and the maximum size is 20. If you are a teacher of 3-year-olds, the child ratio is 12 to 1, and the maximum class size is 24. In age of a child of 4-year-olds, you can have 14 children in a classroom with 1 teacher, and the maximum size is 28. The age of a child that's 5 years old, you can have 14 children with 1 teacher, but the maximum size is 28. We will also be discussing about health and safety. The regulations request that there is no hand sanitizers allowed at all. Even the hand sanitizers is no alcohol. You cannot use them. They are not permitted in the centers. And if they are found in the centers, there will be a deficiency for that center. Proper hand washing techniques for all the children must be posted. Children and teachers' guidelines for hand washing. All contaminated items must be discarded per OSHA guidelines. Your first aid kit must consist of the following: liquid soap, bandage, gauze, medical tape, scissors, thermometer, flashlight, code pack, first aid book, disposable gloves, and CPR mouth protector. The first aid kit must contain all these items. If an inspector comes in and checks your first aid kit and you do not have these following items, your center will have a deficiency. It's extremely important to make sure proper storage of all cleaning and chemical supplies are out of reach of the children. Any plastic bags or plungers must be out of the reach of children. Most people keep their plungers on the ground of a toilet, but in early childhood center, the plungers must be kept up away from the reach of the children. All medicine boxes must be locked and kept out of the child's reach. Daily medication records must be kept inside the box. Record keepings include parent documentation, health records, family information, and contact information must be kept in a secure location. The guidelines of the Kentucky State Regs Nutrition is breakfast or mid-morning snack. The center must offer either breakfast or mid-morning snack. Lunch, afternoon snack. The food must be age appropriate. All children who have food allergies must be posted. They would be visible, so if there was a helper or a substitute, they may go to that and make sure that the child that they are serving has no allergies. Food that is brought in for parties must be store-bought. Education and training requirements. The annual minimum training requirements is 15 hours. CPR and first aid certification is done annually. Background checks for all staffs. TB test every 2 years. Your employer will notify you to let you know when your expiration date and you need to go ahead and get your tests done. Meals and snacks. Snacks shall include 2 of the following: milk, protein, bread, and fruit, vegetable, and juice. I do feel like fruit snacks are not juice, but some centers use them as that. Lunch shall include milk, protein, bread, 2 vegetables, or vegetable and a fruit. Sanitation. Sanitation is what I see most that are deficiencies and problems in early childhood centers. The guidelines for cleaning toys. You need to take scrub in warm, soapy water with a brush with the crevice. I know everybody has a lot. You're very busy in the classrooms and you really don't have time, but this is extremely important for the children's safety. You scrub in warm water using a brush. Then once you scrub it in warm soapy water, you rinse it in clean water. You submerge it into a sanitized solution for at least 2 minutes, then let it air dry. Guidelines for cleaning the room consist of the tables, chair, doorknobs, cots. They must be cleaned and sanitized daily. Diapering areas must be cleaned after every diapering. The required activities: fine motor skills, which is small muscle movement, coordination; gross motor skills, which is large muscle movement coordination; parent involvement. Parents are to become involved in the classroom when there's an activity or a party. And parent communication is extremely important and must be presented as a newsletter, calendar, conference, or any other activities to involve the parents. It's important to keep communication with the parents. The violations. There are 2 types of violations. Violations A and B. Type violations. The violations is a type A creates harm. There's threat. There's danger or safety. These are some examples. Provide health and safety or welfare of children that results into like hospitalization or death. Abuse or neglect of a child, falsifying records, or failure to comply with suspensions of services. Now, type B violations present a concern or risk of health. It does not cause harm to the child, but there is still a threat. For example, like background checks. Failure to do background checks, first aid kit, medical needs, not staff being certified, exceeding staff ratio, which is it is a problem in early childhood, but it's important that you do not exceed that. penalties for violations. There are civil penalties for both types: license suspension and license being revoked. Corrective within 5 working days of a violation A. The fine cannot be more than $1,000. These fines can be very expensive. The Type B violation is a written corrective action, plan within 10 working days, and a fine of $250. Following this lecture, there's an exam we'll be giving by following an evaluation for future training courses. All CEUs, certificates, and certifications will be given to your employers. Please be sure to sign in to the register to assure the training hours, and I appreciate your time with this